Oh, and that. No. You're live?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, we're live?
We're live.
A couple quick notes. Can't have anybody see. All right. Anybody? Anyway.
Anybody?
All right. So now that everybody knows that we are live on Facebook, we are in the studio. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. You can find us on Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher Radio, all of that. YouTube.
Every single goddamn app on a phone, we're on it somehow. We're on Twitter, Facebook, Locked In. We're everywhere.
Google Image.
Dunkin' Donuts gift card. We're somehow in it.
Sean, I don't know, by the way, introducing Sean, our producer.
Yep.
Starting off on a wrong note. I don't know if my headphones are a little high.
That was me.
Oh, okay. Making sure. Anyway, that's our Sean.
Sean,
our
the producer.
That's our Sean.
JT Money makes the money behind the scenes. Also,
He makes money?
well, it's just JT
What?
Money. He has the fresh cut from Wicked Cuts, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
To this episode, we're going to break down the Spruce Creek girls basketball program. They are going into the Final Four, almost like we
Lakeland.
predicted it on Locked In.
Woo!
And we're going to talk about Dirty Zaza in the NBA.
Oh, great player, guys.
Cool?
Yeah, we're good. Coach Hamm, second time on the Locked In studio guest. This is a record. We love it.
How do you feel tonight?
I feel great.
Are you more excited to be in the Locked In studio or that you're going to the Final Four?
I'm more excited than in the lockdown.
All right, I like it.
Okay. Like I said, all right, Max, all script, but kind of on script.
Okay.
We went to the Magic game, the wife and I, like a week ago.
Yep.
A little Christmas present. They played the Knicks, so I was at the Amway. I'm there all the time. I love it. It's one of the best arenas in the world. And the Magic's lineup was complete garbage. Awful. Like just horrendous basketball lineup.
We could take them in this room right
Yeah,
now.
I think, if we had a bench, we would be all right. But I thought about it, and I was thinking, who is the Magic's greatest player of all time? And I think there's literally 4 legitimate options. And dude, you're the best basketball player. Mine, I know Coach Hamm. Oh, I can go live on that computer too. I'll take over. Coach Hamm, I know he's got a great basketball mind. I got 4 options for you guys. The best Magic player ever. Nick Anderson. And he maybe wasn't the highest high, but longevity. He was the first pick ever from the Magic. Long time. Shaquille O'Neal. Maybe in his peak of the powers, but didn't stay there. He wasn't, when everyone thinks of Shaq, you think of L.A.
Yeah.
Tracy McGrady led the scoring 2-3 times as Orlando Magic, but they were a really bad team. And then my last option is Dwight Howard, who they went to the NBA Finals with Dwight, had a good 7-8 years. At the beginning was a little rough, but he was super young. So I think Dwight Howard is in the top 4. Max, who's the greatest Orlando Magic player ever?
Of course, I have to be complicated. I can't just answer the question straight up. I think there's a couple ways to determine there's 2 ways to look at it.
Okay.
Who was the most consistent in that organization? Like, the greatest Miami Heat is Dwayne Wade, but the greatest talent to go through the Heat was LeBron James. So if you're asking me what was the greatest talent or just what was the greatest Heat, like as in Dwayne Wade?
The greatest Magic player ever. The greatest Heat player ever is Dwayne Wade. It's not even a close second.
In that argument.
No, Wade's got 3 championships as a Heat.
I'm going to say.
Drop.
Your mic's on a stand. I'm going to say the greatest Magic of all time is going to create some hate. But I really do think it's Dwight Howard.
Oh, I think it's Dwight Howard as well.
Yeah, I think Shaq's the best talent to go through there. But Dwight Howard was stayed there the longest and produced the best numbers.
Coach?
To me, you're missing one because Penny Hardaway had a great career.
That's what I was gonna say.
Penny Hardaway has to be.
He was a beast.
Oh, he's above Nick Anderson?
Yes.
I put him in my head. I thought you did say him.
No, I had Nick Anderson because I thought Penny he's kind of like, he was there a year after Shaq. So he doesn't have the longevity of Shaq, but he was always Robin, Shaq was Batman. And then he didn't have a longevity. He didn't have 12. Guys, Nick Anderson was on the team for like 14 years, leading scorer. Like
But
Nick.
if you say Nick Anderson, you got to say Dennis Scott.
I was going to say, Nick Anderson was my favorite.
Wow, Nick Anderson getting a lot of hate.
Oh, no, Nick Anderson is my favorite Magic player of all time. He's my favorite Magic player.
Okay.
I agree with you. I think Hardaway is definitely up there.
So, but do you have Penny as the best ever, or is it
I would definitely go at Tracy McGrady.
Tracy McGrady? Okay. That's what I
He's
mean.
the most electric, I think. Like the most entertaining player is Tracy McGrady.
Oh, in his prime, he was
Yeah, but if you think
33 a night.
If you think about it with Tracy McGrady, if Tracy McGrady had Grant Hill
Yes.
healthy in
Yeah.
his time, they would have made a run, and then Dwight Howard would have never played for the Magic.
I agree with that.
This is the greatest off-script question we've ever had.
You like that? Like, it was just crazy. I'm at the Amway. I'm my 4th or 5th beer. I don't know. I think it was the 4th, I hope. And I'm like, who's the greatest Magic player ever? Because usually I think it's easy. Name any team, I would go off the top of my head. I think 98% of all the teams you can say Dwayne Wade, best Sixer ever, Julius Erving, best Blazer ever, Clyde Drexler. You can just nail them.
You think Julius Erving's definitely over AI?
That's what I was just thinking.
I'm about to say, like, you're like, definitely.
Yeah, it's a good debate.
I agree that
This is the whole goddamn show. We'll do every single team.
you
But we got
started
to go to Creek.
But real quick, seriously,
Okay,
you
yeah.
started something because Julius Erving, I think, left the biggest imprint on the NBA. So I would say him. But it's not definitely. I could easily make an argument for
AI.
AI.
Maybe he didn't win a championship. I know Dr. J did win a championship there, and AI left a little bit,
You got AI?
bad. I got to look into that. That might be AI. That's a 51-49.
I like AI.
All right.
Back to the Magic, though. The best player to
Yeah.
ever play for the Magic?
No, just the best
No,
Magic player.
No, I'm saying
okay.
the best player to ever play for the Magic, Vince Carter.
It's not bad, actually. No, it's Shaq. Guys, Shaq's
Yeah,
a top
I'm
10 player ever. But no,
I'm
we do
saying
like
he
Vince
didn't
Carter.
get
He's a
mentioned.
part
I'm
of the
saying.
3-8,
Carter will be
16.
on Locked In soon, so I'll say Vince Carter.
Yeah, big up to Joe Giddens. What's up? He's got a big game, too, coming up.
Sounded a little weird. I don't know why. Anyway, so let's get into
Let's get it.
the meat and potatoes. Coach Hamm, Spruce Creek girls basketball head coach.
Final four.
The first time ever, am I correct, that the girls basketball program is going to the Final Four?
Yes.
How does that feel as a coach? Is that just a breath of what's the saying? The
Fresh air? Breath of fresh
relief
air?
or-
Sigh of relief?
Okay. Anyway, is it just you could sit back and relax, or are you just so amped on winning the state title? Are you enjoying the moment, or are you just focused on the next?
I'm just focused on the next. Like, I'm just trying to approach it like it's another game. Not so much about, like, what's at stake right now. Just, just trying to be real simple, not trying to make it so big.
Mm-hmm. Who do you guys play in the Final Four? Who's your first matchup?
Orlando Oak Ridge.
And how do they look?
They're pretty good. I mean, they're decent. They have size. They have a really good point guard. They got a good wing player. I mean, it's just crazy because, like, I coach travel ball, so a lot of the kids on Oak Ridge plays for me travel ball.
So you know their games
in
in and out.
Yeah. So, like, the assistant coach, he's one of my really good friends. Like, we're not talking right now because it's like, so it's like we talk through the year.
Trying to win that ring.
Yeah, we trade film. He had my huddle. So as soon as we won, I texted him. I said, hey, I got to change my huddle password. You can't get on it anymore. So.
Wow.
So it's like a lot at stake just Friday night because we know each other.
This is pride.
I like it.
Whenever
It makes
you
it
see
even better.
Whenever you see him, be like, yep, I beat you. But then if he beats you, you just got to avoid the eye contact.
Exactly. And I got to hear it all summer.
You can't think that way. There's no way they're going to beat you guys. I got Creek in a win. That's all. I'm just moving forward. I got the W for Creek. I'm taking that negativity out of the room right now.
All right, I was going to save my locked in, but okay. Anyway, so you're obviously focused on this game and kind of realized the question I had wasn't the best one because every team in the Final Four got there for a reason. So every team you play is going to be legit. So do you think going forward you guys are the underdog? You guys are the favorite? How do you approach that? Like, how do you settle that in the locker room?
I don't think Friday night, I don't think we're the underdog. We win Friday night, we're definitely the underdog depending on who we play. If we play Miami High on Saturday night, we're the underdog. Mm-hmm. If we play Deerfield Beach, I think we're the favorite. So, just to me, I tell them, people don't think we should be here. So we just got to continue to prove people wrong that, we deserve to be in the Final Four.
Well deserved. Well deserved. And did you make an arrangement for Locked In to be there at Lakeland? It was part of my Locked In from past episodes. I said we're going to be in Lakeland, so I'll have to talk to that management.
I thought we the spot already.
We don't have the suite. Yeah. We don't have the top story suite with that, like the room key.
You don't even section. It says locked in section.
Man, that's awesome.
The best thing I can do is pass on the court side seat tickets for court side.
Ooh.
If you guys come.
I'm pretending to be picky. I'll take anything. But no, that's terrific. You're really representing. We've had, obviously, we've had a lot of coaches in around the area, and all of them talk about how we just want to change the culture locally, and we want to make basketball known. We want people to support it, pack the gyms, kind of how Orlando is perceived to be. And I think you are definitely doing that. To be able to go to the Final Four, I don't know a lot of people that could say that. And for you to do that for Spruce Creek High School and all the coaches locally, you're putting 386 on the map. Literally putting them on the map. So I think that's terrific, and you obviously earned it with that Coach D'Antoni offense, right?
Yeah.
By the way, 30-1 with Chris Paul, Capella,
And James Harden.
Sorry, I paused. That was a good playoff.
So, Chris Paul is good now, Max?
Did we ever get you on this debate? I said
No.
Chris Paul has underachieved through his career. I think he's a phenomenal player. But until now, he has underachieved. To be an all-time great point guard and never get to the Western Conference Finals, I think is atrocious when you have two All-Stars on your team. But I said him going with James Harden, him going to the Western Conference Finals is expected. I know he'll do that with James Harden, but he underachieved this far. Is that a crazy statement?
Yes.
Thank
I've
you.
had people agree with me more
That
than
is
not.
absolutely crazy madness. It's the scenario, Max. We literally said this word earlier. He was drafted by the Hornets, one of the worst franchises ever. They got traded, sold, Hornets, Bobcats. I don't even know what team. I think they're the Pelicans now, I think. Then he went to the Los Angeles Clippers, the worst franchise of our lifetime. Worse than the Knicks. They were awful. They've been awful. Chris Paul elevates Blake, elevates DeAndre Jordan. They go to the playoffs 5 years in a row for the first time in the Clipper history. Maybe could have won another playoff series or two, maybe. But, guys, he's in the West. He's playing against Duncan in the Dynasty, Kobe and the Lakers in the Dynasty, Dirk Nowitzki in the Dallas Mavericks Dynasty, the Golden State Warriors, maybe the greatest team ever. This is who Chris Paul's playing in the first round. There's no gimmies. If he's in the East, he's in Eastern Conference Finals over and over and over again. Chris Paul, two-way player, pass, defense, shot, one of the greatest point guards ever.
And if you think too, right, if the Lakers trade would have went through,
I said
he would have
3 championships.
Easy.
3. Him, Bynum when he was healthy, Kobe when he was in his prime.
Paul Gasol.
Yeah, they would have won 3, 4, 5 championships, and none of this would have been. It's just the scenario, the situation. He's still an unbelievable player. Even Charles Barkley never won a championship. Carmelo never won a championship, but they're still all-time greats. They're unbelievable.
Okay, so let's talk about that's your statement, right? That's your argument? I'm tearing that up. Like, listen.
Hold on, one second.
Yes, sir.
Coach Joe's checking in right now from Facebook.
Okay.
He says he's proud of you. Well deserved. Bring home that championship.
Damn, let's go. I'm
Coach
telling
Joe,
you.
I love you, but you still can't shoot.
Coach, I defended you. I said I said every time I played you, you could shoot the lights out. I don't know what it was. It was like just when I guarded you, you could hit. So I'm saying you could shoot, but I can still beat you one-on-one. But
Coach Joe, we still love you, man. They're just eating you alive over there.
Yeah.
Thank you for being the locked in guest. Good luck tomorrow night. I know Malin's got a big
Friday
game
night,
Friday night. Man, guys, I got 2 kids. Work is love. I don't know what day it is right now. But, Coach, good luck.
yes, sir. Let me break this down.
Okay.
So let's talk about the top point guards, right? We have Magic Johnson.
The greatest point guard ever.
And I won't necessarily go in order, but Magic Johnson's obviously the greatest,
Sure.
first to come to mind. Jason Kidd's up there.
Jason Kidd's a great point
John
guard.
Stockton's up there.
Okay.
Who else would you say is up there besides Chris Paul, obviously?
Isaiah Thomas is up
Isaiah
there.
Thomas.
I think
Okay.
he's a great point
So
guard.
we just mentioned 4 all-time great point guards.
Yes, sir.
All 4 of those point guards have been to the finals.
Okay.
And you can argue that, John Stockton didn't win because of Jordan. But he did get to the finals. We could say Jason Kidd didn't win a championship. Well, he did with the Mavericks, but he got to the finals. Magic Johnson, we all know, got to the finals.
Okay.
Chris Paul has never gone to the Western Conference Finals. And if he's an all-time great, he's judged on an all-time great scale. He's a phenomenal player. I think he's going to be an all-time great. But if you're judged on an all-time great scale, you look at the minutia details. That's right, minutia details.
You used that word wrong.
No, I didn't. I know how to spell it. I looked it up today. I knew I was going to be on the podcast.
If Chris Paul got drafted by the Detroit Pistons, he would have been to
Damn.
3 NBA Finals, and 5 Eastern Conference Finals.
Listen, but that's
He got
shoulda,
unluckily
coulda,
drafted to a horrible franchise in the West. That's
shoulda,
not his
coulda,
fault.
Woulda. We don't live in the if world. If LeBron James was drafted by the Lakers, if LeBron James, he was drafted in Cleveland. If Carmelo Anthony was drafted by the Nuggets, he went to the Western Conference Finals.
Okay.
That's not a great franchise.
I'm cutting it. You ready?
I'm not even done.
No,
that's
I'm
the
cutting
bad
it.
part.
Watch this.
I'm already tearing it up, and I'm just getting started.
You're not
Like,
tearing
that's
it.
the bad part.
Look, if you want to say Chris Paul maybe is not on a all-time level, if you want to say that, or if you think Chris Paul is like, hey, Dave, I think he's the 6th greatest point guard ever. Okay, if you want to say all that, but this is the argument. This is your word that you keep using is underachieving.
Yes, I will, and I'll continue. Because if you're an all-time great point guard, you need to get my team to at least the conference finals. I didn't even say win an NBA ring.
It's the West. Now he is going to go to the Western Conference Finals this year. He's got good players around him.
James Harden. That's why I said until now he's underachieved. You have Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan, 2 All-Stars with you, and you can't say he didn't have a supporting cast, and you can't say he didn't have a great head coach. What?
Thank you.
I'm not a Blake Griffin fan, but he's an All-Star.
Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan are the same player. They do the same thing. They rebound and dunk.
Yep, and Chris Paul elevated those.
In the league, you have to be able to shoot the ball.
Yes, sir.
Which his supporting cast was J.J. Redick,
who shoots the ball.
Jamal Crawford,
who shoots the ball. The greatest 6-man of all time, with Doc Rivers.
You're talking about a 6-man in the West, Max. You're talking to them about going through 3 dynasties.
But if that roster,
he was on the Clippers before Golden State Warriors was a dynasty. Let that be noted.
So that was Tim Duncan and Kobe the Lakers.
If that roster was in the East,
Kobe and the Lakers sucked when he went to the Clippers.
They would go to the 4 NBA Finals. They would have beat Cleveland a couple times.
Let's say if you took Cleveland's roster and you put them in the West.
Correct.
Let's say you took Miami Heat with LeBron and all them and put them in the West.
3 NBA Finals, not 7 straight.
Exactly.
Yeah, they don't make it every
wouldn't
time.
Have been every year, whatever.
Even if that statement's true, I'm just saying the conference finals. I'm not even saying the finals. I'm talking about being.
That's just a sticky
James
detail.
Harden has gone there with no All-Stars. Not one All-Star on his team.
What's an All-Star, Max?
All-Star, not one All-Star.
Is DeAndre Jordan an All-Star?
You say James Harden.
Can you turn
right?
me up one time, please?
But James Harden has also been in the Western Conference and punked out and didn't play well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, James Harden?
Yes.
But he's also been to the Western Conference Finals. He's also putting up better numbers than Chris Paul put up. Chris Paul is a great player, but if you want to be listed as an all-time great, you have to get to the Conference Finals. I don't think that's a high...
Okay,
I'm not even saying you have to win a ring.
What about this? So what about this? And I think this will smash everything right here.
Get him.
What if Westbrook never gets to the Western Conference Finals for the rest of his career?
And it's going to happen.
2 things.
To be probably honest with you, he's not going to get through Houston and Golden State and San Antonio.
Does he now go from being one of the best point
to
guards
underachieving?
2 things.
It's the word.
One, I'm not the biggest Westbrook fan, so you're not hurting me. 2,
the MVP triple-double.
Actually, a couple things.
He's a great guy.
He won an MVP, which Chris Paul has not done. And wait. When we look at an all-time great, you look at the tiny details. We're talking about all-time great. So you're going to be...
All-time great point guard. I'm not saying Chris Paul's a top 5, top 10 guy.
Russell Westbrook
I'm not saying that.
has averaged a triple-double in a season. Chris Paul has never done. Ever came close. Has an MVP award. Chris Paul does not have. And technically has been to the finals as well. And you're going to say he was the B guy. Chris Paul's also the B guy behind Harden. So he's done that. Chris Paul hasn't. That's right. That's a victory right here. When you guys both get silent, that's because you don't know what else to say.
No, I know what to say because the thing is, with Chris Paul, you talking about his whole body of work. His whole body of work in his career isn't underachieving. His whole body of work puts him as one of the best point guards to play the game.
And I think his talent and body of work is, but he's underachieved as far as
his roster's been underachieved.
Listen, let's talk about this. So Anthony Davis puts up the best stats, right? And if he continues to go this course, he'll break records. If he never gets to the Western Conference Finals, that will be a blemish on him. And he is underachieved.
So that means Kevin Garnett, if he never goes to Boston, he spends his whole career.
He would have underachieved because he never did anything.
Kevin Garnett? Kevin Garnett's a top 20 best player ever. Okay,
because he's on the Celtics.
No.
Said if he didn't go to the Celtics.
Without Boston, take out Boston's
he
career.
said he
Him
didn't-
in Minnesota, he's a top 25 player to ever play the game.
Dave, you're definitely missing the whole point. He said if he didn't go to Boston, that's his championships, that's his best moments.
No.
Kevin Love wouldn't be an all-time great if he stayed in Minnesota
You
just
ready?
because he puts up the best numbers.
Yes,
He goes to
Sean.
Cleveland and
I
he's
have
a
something,
champion.
but Sean?
Steve Nash.
What about him?
Never played in the finals.
Has he underachieved?
Dominique Wilkins.
Has he gone to the
Never
Western?
played in the finals.
Wait. Has he gone to the Western Conference Finals?
That's
Western
a
Conference.
sticky
Oh,
detail.
Chris Paul hasn't even gotten
That's
there.
a sticky
right.
detail.
That's right.
Kevin Garnett's
And wait, has Steve Nash won an MVP? Oh, he did.
2.
Chris Paul hasn't. Every example you put up, they have something on them.
But we weren't talking about MVP. We were talking about you're talking about making it to the finals and stuff. And
yeah,
that- I'm just-
underachieving. If you're not going to go to the finals, you have to have at least have awards. He doesn't even have those. Let's just be real. I'm tearing your argument up.
You're not at all.
I am.
Because he hasn't won an MVP, he's underachieved.
And
Like how?
actually went to the Western Conference
crazy-
Finals. Hasn't gone far in the playoffs.
So Max, that's
Okay,
like 16 people in the human race.
That's why they're all-time greats. Not everybody is.
But that's what we're not
That's why
saying.
it's a handful of people.
Chris Webber.
But
And Mount
I didn't.
Rushmore is only 5 people.
I didn't start
4,
this
5.
argument saying that Chris Paul's an all-time great, but he has definitely not underachieved. A kid that
So
played at a Wake Forest.
Tim Duncan played out of Wake Forest. That doesn't mean anything.
I'm just
He's
saying,
the
like-
greatest power forward of all time.
I'm not saying anything. I just said where he came from to play New Orleans. He was actually drafted by Charlotte. Then they went to New Orleans.
Akron. Doesn't matter where you come from. It's
just-
about what you do.
It's crazy. It makes no
Ham
sense.
goes to the Final Four. He's achieved.
Kevin, and by the way, there were Kevin Garnett real quick. His best moment was not Boston.
I agree. But
His
he
best
won championships
when he was the
with
MVP
Boston.
of Minnesota, and he brought Sam Cassell, old Latrell Sprewell to the Western Conference Finals in the West. He carried a team. That's
Western
Kevin Garnett's
Conference
best.
Finals.
One
Chris
time
Paul hasn't done
So-
that. I'm telling
Chris
you.
Paul still got 6 years to
He
play.
will because he's with James Harden. And
But-
that's why I said
no.
until now.
But
When he goes
but you
there,
keep on
it's
saying
not
with
like he
James.
hasn't anymore.
How Chris?
But will you say that
Chris
he's
Bosh-
one of the best?
What? Right
Point
now?
guards.
Yeah, he is one of the best. I'm just saying he's underachieved. And that's why I think he's underachieved, because I have him on a high pedestal, because he is one of the all-time best. And
You keep on saying with James Harden. You know that Chris Paul, James Harden never won anything without Chris Paul.
he went further
So
than
when he
Chris Paul did.
So one round further than Chris Paul.
Means
So
a
when
lot.
Chris Paul, when they go to the Western Conference Finals a couple times together, them two, it's not just, oh, James Harden's everything and Chris Paul is a C
understand.
minus player. I'm just
I-
throwing that out there.
I said he's a B.
I just want to throw out there that I'm just glad that you recognize that the furthest that the Houston Rockets is going to go is to the Western Conference Finals, because they're going to play Golden State and get slapped.
Before we get into the Warriors, just one last thing.
Go
One
on-
last thing.
They got a shot.
Coach, okay, one last thing, Coach.
They got a
Chris
shot.
Bosh,
Yeah.
if he stayed in Toronto, would not be a Hall of Famer, but he put up tremendous numbers.
He would be a Hall of Famer.
No,
Yes, he
I
would.
could argue he would not be. If
He,
you don't
a
do-
10-time NBA All-Star would be a Hall of
Okay,
Famer.
Wait, but now the fact that he won a championship with LeBron, it's not a question, because that championship means something.
Either
You're
way,
acting
he
like
was going to be a
it's
Hall of
nothing.
Famer.
You're acting like that's nothing. Him going
No.
and doing something in the playoffs definitely takes you further.
As the third player.
Oh, you just made your point that it doesn't matter. Oh, he's a B. You're acting like he's a C player. Bosh, if it wasn't for him getting that rebound, LeBron doesn't have a ring.
No, I understand that, but you're saying if Bosch stayed in Toronto and be the A-plus player, the number one guy, they were making it to the playoffs, and he was all-star numbers. He had like 5 or 6 all-stars in Toronto. So if he would have continued that, he would have been a 10, 12-time all-star, made it to the playoffs 10 times. That's an NBA Hall of Famer.
Okay, I'm just saying him going to Miami boosted that because he went further. So Chris Paul going further helps him. Craig G going to the Celtics helps him. Even though he's putting his best numbers in Minnesota, if he doesn't go to Boston, his legacy isn't the same. That's what I'm saying. A championship solidifies you as something else.
I think Bosch is the 14th best power forward, and Chris Paul is like the 5th best point guard. So I just think they're in totally different levels.
Oh, I agree. I think Chris
Okay.
Paul's way above Chris Bosh.
So
it's
we-
just an example of that your best numbers necessarily don't mean that it was your best moment in your career.
And championships don't make the player. They don't. I mean, I know it makes a big difference, but just because somebody doesn't have a championship doesn't take away from it. And that's
I think
what
it does, to be honest.
That was my
I think
point.
it does.
Was my point with
Yeah.
Steve Nash though. He never made it to the finals. Yeah, he made a Western Conference. He made MVPs, but he never won that championship. Dan Marino in the NFL. He went to one Super Bowl. He has almost all or at least had all the quarterback records. But then nobody talks about him not being the greatest, even though he lost the one only Super Bowl he ever made it to.
I'm not trying to say you're not a great player if you don't win a championship. What I'm saying is,
But did Dan Marino underachieve? Did Steve Nash underachieve?
Look, what I'm saying here.
That's the word I stick
by
on.
the
Still,
way he went to the Super Bowl, Chris Paul hasn't gone to the finals. Anyway.
Well, Nash didn't make the finals.
Okay, but Nash also has won MVPs, which Chris Paul has not. Anyway, back to my point.
There's only 2 MVPs every year.
Don't even remember what it was anymore. But a championship definitely helps elevate you. If Charles Barkley won a championship, you could seriously make the case he's not better than Tim Duncan, but the argument with Karl Malone may not be one.
And right, I said it elevates, but it doesn't make the player.
Okay, agree to disagree. A little bit. But can we talk about the Warriors?
yeah, we can talk about the Warriors. I know that's coach's team.
Zaza, even though that's your team, should never play again in the league.
I don't agree with that.
Okay, he definitely was a dirty player, and that's not right.
He's a dirty player, but there's a spot for him in the league.
Absolutely.
And there's actually a legitimate spot for him on Golden State.
Do you agree?
Golden State gets a little bit of that grit from Zaza, gets in Westbrook's head a little bit, takes a charge, elbows people, sets picks, and that's what Golden State kind of needs for 12, 15 minutes. Nothing major. He plays 12, 18 minutes a game. That's what adds to Golden State's probably another championship run.
And my argument to that is, you do need a dirty player. You need someone to do the dirty work. You need someone to give hard fouls. I don't mind if you hard foul them going up for a layup. Yeah, it sucks, but you're a presence. But when somebody is down on the ground and you fall purposely just to hurt his legs, that's not a dirty player. That's a bad person. Like, that's not a good team move. And just because the mic is in front of you, don't act like you didn't say. You're not surprised they didn't release him.
I was going to say that. Like, I'm surprised they didn't release him. But I'm not going to say he shouldn't be in the league.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a step for that's a little far.
Yeah,
I'll admit that.
Okay,
But
I was going to say that's a little far. And you ready that people in Golden State like that Zaza did it? You don't think they were like behind closed doors?
Person to Westbrook because he knows Westbrook would knock him out. That's why they want to do it.
Behind
No one
closed
cares about
doors.
Zaza.
Westbrook.
Yeah, but that's just like a coach. You be like, I wish I had that kid.
Yeah.
That would be like, hey, listen, I need you to go and take that kid out.
Exactly.
So
Every team wants that player.
what's going on?
Dennis Rodman.
See, you guys use this Dennis Rodman example, and it's so out of context. Dennis Rodman is arguably the all-time greatest rebounder, was a great defender besides his dirty plays, and will go down as a Hall of Famer. Zaza didn't put up any type of numbers that Dennis Rodman did. Doesn't rebound the way Dennis Rodman did. Doesn't play defense the way Dennis Rodman does. All he doesn't have in common is that he fouls dirty. I could do that. That's what I'm saying. I'm not Dennis Rodman.
That being true, all what you just said was true, but there's still a spot. Dennis Rodman was still for 8 out of his 30 minutes or 8 out of his 35, chippy,
I could do that
dirty,
Draymond.
sets picks.
Draymond's
No.
more like Dennis.
No, dude, Draymond's so skilled, bro.
Oh, I
Draymond
agree,
can
but
shoot
for
and
this
pass.
team and how much he means to him is how much Dennis Rodman meant to the Bulls.
I'm just, okay, Golden State is run the smartest in the whole NBA.
Agreed.
Okay. They are run so dang smart. Their salary cap with great players. They all share the ball, pass and wins. They shoot. If he wasn't valuable to the team, they would. Like Coach Hamm just said, he'd be like, guys, Zaza, we're going to let you go. We're going to release you. You're not a valuable asset to a championship team. They would let him go. He is. And I know that you might not like it or it might not sound great. Like, is he really? If Zaza tore his ACL, I still think Golden State still wins. But he's an asset. He's valuable to the team.
He's more valuable than having, like, that soundboard. I understand. He's more valuable than nothing.
This is valuable. We would
I know
be here.
that's why it's questionable. That's why I said he is more valuable than that soundboard. But my thing I'm saying is they didn't have a lot of money in the cap space. That's why Zaza is on there. Like, don't get me wrong. He was not their first option. So I'm not saying he doesn't play a role on the Warriors. But what I'm saying is what he did, there's no room for it. Like, that's beyond a dirty play in my book. Like, that's hurting somebody. And there's a difference between going up and fouling hard, but actually contesting the layup and playing basketball. Maybe throwing a little elbow here and there, but landing purposely on somebody's knees. I just don't think there's no room for that. If I were to do that, I mean, yeah, we're cousins. I know that. I wouldn't do it to you. But if you saw me do that
better
to
not.
somebody, you would pull me to the side and be like, Max, what are you doing, bro? Like, you could hurt somebody by doing that. That's not even a basketball play.
Well, I would.
That's not something
No,
you do.
I would say that to Zaza as well. If I was on the team, if I was Durant, whatever, be like, don't try. I don't like ever trying to hurt another player. I do want him to set a hard pick, give him the elbows, get in someone's face, even maybe engage, get a technical back and forth, that kind of thing. Yeah, I never wanted him to hurt another player. So I don't want that. But he is, I think some guys on the Warriors are like, okay, I like that. Get a little grit.
I'm expecting him to get my back over here. So you think Ham has a place?
Zaza.
I mean, I'm sorry, Zaza. I think you'd be better than Zaza, to be
He
honest.
has a
but-
place. He got a place. I mean, because you got to think. I'll take it to college basketball. Look at Grayson Allen.
Yeah.
He can actually play.
Like,
Dribble.
but this is my point though, right? That happened. The Westbrook thing happened last week, right?
Yeah.
This week, how many times?
Yeah, 4 days.
Oh, you could
Did
look
you-
at a whole highlight reel of him doing dirty stuff.
But listen what I'm saying though. But this week, how many times have you heard them talk about Zaza? You really haven't like that. With Grayson Allen, they were talking about it every single day.
But he didn't intentionally land on
Who?
somebody's knees.
But he intentionally kicked somebody in the nuts.
Yeah, that.
Hey,
And
Grayson Allen's locked out, by the way.
Yeah, no,
Just
Grace.
like his-
No, I already locked out Grayson Allen. The tripping thing is worse than what Zaza doing.
I'd rather get tripped any day than have a 7-foot guy land on my knees because my knees can end my career. If
No.
I trip, it looks embarrassing.
Okay, so you're hating on Zaza, right?
Yeah.
He's 7 foot. He's fallen down. He doesn't know if he's going to fall exactly on his knee, his hip.
He knew
His
exactly
ankle.
what
You think
he
the
was
kneecap?
doing.
You think he saw the meniscus on that
Come
one?
on, Dave.
He did that. He did that on purpose.
He looked at his knees and fell.
I don't know the player, but the other guy's foot didn't hook the back of his knee.
That's
Nick Young?
not nearly enough to tip over
Nick
a
Young?
7-foot, 250-pound plus man.
You're not expecting it?
Nah,
I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Sean, I ran into you like that by accident. You didn't even realize it. That wouldn't knock over a 7-foot
I'm a
man.
beast.
Exactly. Zaza has proclaimed the beast of the team. Like,
he
come on.
fell. He fell into him on purpose.
Yeah, like if it was by accident and I had an idea that it was by accident, I'd be like, okay, he's just clumsy as crap. But that was on purpose.
Yeah.
Coach Ham, how can the public, everyone that's watching on Facebook Live, how can they get information about trying to go to Lakeland? Let's fill up that gym for Creek for you. Is there anywhere to get tickets? Is there anywhere to contact you guys or the school itself to get tickets, kids, everyone like that? I know Locked In, Facebook Live, I know people are watching.
You can go on the FHSA website,
Okay.
and you can go to the girls' basketball page on Florida High School, and they have tickets online. I think you order from $10 online.
That's a great
Or
deal.
You can pay $10 and stream, and so if you pay the $10 and stream it online, you can actually, if once Mainland gets to the Final Four, you can watch those games as well.
Oh, so it's like a one-time deal, $10,
$10
unlimited.
It's for 30 days.
Oh, yeah.
Coach, if I can get those tickets, can I get a live interview from you after the game?
Maybe.
If you're in a good mood, of course. All right.
I mean, really, like I have to do all interviews
What do you mean?
at the Final Four. Like, win or lose, they make you do live interviews.
Oh, wow. I'm
So
not
you
talking
have to
about it
do
live.
it.
This is just me and you, You're cool with me. I'm cool
Oh,
with you
yeah.
in the back of the locker room. So
Oh, yeah.
okay, cool. So then I'm going to have to go. Locked In will have to be there. Do you have anything else you want to hit, touch on, promote?
No, just come out and support. If you can't come to Lakeland, and you want to go to Tampa, go to Hillsborough, and go support Mainland boys. I mean, I think that's a big game. I think to be honest, for Coach Joe, it's a lot at stake for him because, I mean, think about this: if Coach Joe takes Mainland to the Final Four,
Yeah.
His first year as
his
the coach.
first year, and win it, either get there or win it.
Woo!
Does that put him as the best coach to coach in Volusia County?
That just started the debate.
Wow.
That started the debate.
Wow.
Because he would be the only coach
Wow.
/ player, I think, to ever coach and have played in the Final Four.
Why didn't you lead with this? This is amazing.
Wow. I can go
didn't
2
get
hours on this. Guys, Joe Giddens, stud coach. Just talking to him. We talked to him for an hour. His details. Every time we're like trying to like talk to him about a basketball question, he's like, "Nope, I care about the kids. I care about their grades."
Made me feel like a bad person.
Yeah. It's like do the little things, and he had like acronyms for everything. It's like I wake up in the morning, I brush my teeth twice, and I do good things for kids. It's like, God, man, this guy's a great guy.
Yeah.
It's like I just give an iPad to my son and like, grow up, son. I'm going to work.
Yeah, but I think what Coach Joe's doing is, like you said, never been done before. And he knows he has the support from Locked In, and we're going to have to go to both games now. So
that's Mainland's Friday night, Coach Hamm.
Friday night.
Oh, both Friday night?
Yeah, we play at 6, they play at 7.
So you go to one, I go to the other.
So trust me, I wanted to I'm like, dang, why we couldn't play at 5? Because I would be at the game. But, like for me, like, we're in the Final Four, so it's like we're there.
Yeah.
It's a big thing. Win, lose, or draw, like we're there.
Yeah.
But I think for him, and I know he's not thinking like this because he is about the kids, he's about his program, but I think that puts him as the best coach, high school coach, the coach in our area.
As far as just basketball or football, everything, because we all know he played football as well.
Yeah. I think just coaching, like you could say coach in general.
You honestly could make that argument just because what you said, to do what he's done. And I told him this. I was like, everybody has an opinion about a coach. When I first went to Atlantic, I had disagreements with Coach Joe. But you can't argue with facts, like how Chris Paul hasn't gotten to the finals kind of thing. It's
my gosh.
Coach Joe left Spruce Creek.
Wait.
Goes to Mainland. And
So if Joe Giddens, if Mainland doesn't reach the Final Four at Lakeland, does he underachieve this year?
It's his first year as a coach.
Yes.
If Chris Paul came out, got drafted, and was in the second round, no, he didn't. But this is still early in his career. Give him 20 years, and if he hasn't reached the Final Four, then maybe we could talk about it.
See,
but
that's where we disagree.
He's going to the Final Four this year. We know that. So this argument doesn't exist.
That's true. I know. I think Mainland's going to win the whole
my
dang
whole
thing.
point
Just give the
is-
ball to Johnny Brown. Just give it to him. Feed him.
Coach Joe goes to Mainland. All of a sudden, they're en route
Yeah.
to go to the Final Four.
Yeah.
Like that, you can't argue with
And
that.
then you
That's
got to
what I'm
look,
saying.
too. Like, for myself and Coach Joe, we had the toughest routes because, one, both of our teams blew it in the district championship game. And if you think, if we would have won the district championship game, we would have hosted all 3 games.
Damn.
If they win the district championship, they host 3 games. We both had to go on the road, and we had to win 3 games in a row on the road. So,
Damn.
So like for us, like it's like we had the toughest road to get there. Like that's tough in itself. Like at the end of the day, I wonder how many times has that happened in the history of Florida High School, where teams went on the road, went and won 3 games, got to the state championship, and even get there and win it.
Wow. Maybe a handful, maybe at most.
So obviously, in a perfect world, both teams win it. If both teams win it, is it fair to say that 386 is back on the map?
Yeah.
That's 2 state titles.
Oh, yeah. It's coming, too. It's coming.
Does this mean in the future of your organization, the future of your program, and the future of his program, do you guys run 386 for years to come?
I think so. I think more so for him because, like, I'm on the girl side. So on the girl side, the issue is, like, for me, if you look at, this is my 7th year at Creek. So my 7th year at Creek, out of 7 years, I've had Jayla Adams, who's going Division I. I've had Brianna Laitler, who went Division I. I had Jewel Montezano, who went D2. Ireland Davidson go D2. Rashanti Bailey going JUCO. Danica Hamilton going JUCO. Yoga Tessa going to Rollins, which is a D2. So, and if you look at my body of work as a coach, if you go look at FPC, if you go look at Armani Walker at Bethune-Cookman right now, Chasmine Brown, Tamara Hanshaw over at USF, like, I've coached those kids. Like I've coached them travel ball. I've coached those kids. So if I'm a kid, I'm thinking like this: why wouldn't I want to go play for him?
Yeah.
at the end of the day, if my dream is to go play college basketball,
You got to go to Creek.
if you take my phone and compare my phone to a lot of these coaches in the area, and you type in the word coach, when I type in coach, it's not just Coach Joe, Coach Howard. It's coach from FSU, coach from Miami, coach from Florida, coach from here, coach from there. I just had a coach text me yesterday about a kid that lives in Orlando last night. Text me last night, hey, coach, on my way to Joe's game. Hey, I'm trying to get such and such. Oh, I say, coach, she's already committed to Rollins. You know, but see, the girls, they're like, we want to beat Creek. Like, you can continue to beat us, but we're still chasing scholarships and championships. And that's always been my motto since the day I got at Creek. For Coach Joe, if he wins a championship, he going to be able to get any boy in the area. Everybody's going to want to go to Maryland.
And I mentioned this. Is it crazy to think? I wish I would have done this in high school. I wish I would have recruited the best high school players and convinced them to go to one school. Do you think that we'll ever see that? Like, if Maitland wins, you mentioned he can get anybody. Do you think that?
I think on the boys' side, you can see that. You wouldn't see it on the girls' side, but I think on the boys, like you know, it's certain kids that wouldn't just leave. Like, there's like Atlantic's best player isn't gonna just leave Atlantic to go play at Maitland.
Yeah,
you know, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah,
but if you got that second, third tier kid, you know, they may leave New Smyrna. They may leave Atlanta to go to Maitland because right now, Maitland is the hottest thing right now in boys basketball. You know?
And then you get so deep. You'll be 8, 9, 10 deep.
Yeah. You know, so, like, I think, like, it's a lot at stake for both of us. But, like, for him, it's a lot because, like, you know, his whole legacy, like, right now, that can be the biggest thing. Because at the end of the day, me and Coach Joe, we talked about this before. Like, this may not ever happen again. This may be my only opportunity to take a team to Lakeland. This may be Coach Joe's only opportunity to do this again. You know, so at the end of the day, if you do it now, this could determine everything.
Yeah.
You know, for me, it's been done. Coach Butts has went to the Final Four twice. You know, Lopez has been to the Final Four a couple times.
Yeah, they're going too.
They're going now. So, you know, like, for me, it doesn't put me in the upper echelon. For Coach Joe, it puts him at the top of the food chain.
Wow.
We have 3 local teams that are going to be in the Final Four.
Yeah, we had Calvary Christian.
4.
Girls.
I'm on, like, yeah. Of course, Coach Joe wants to focus on the team now. I'm assuming that they win because I think they will. So you have Mainland, Creek, Lopez, and Calvary.
Yeah.
You can't tell me that
2 boys, 2 girls, right?
Yeah.
Nah.
Calvary's
3 girls, 1 boy.
1 boy.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of talent.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, you know, you look at all these teams, like I was telling the Calvary AD, I told him, I said, listen, like, they played City of Life. And my wife texted me and she was like, you're right, City of Life is so good. I said, I told you because Asia Harvey plays travel ball for me. Deborah Buggs was on my travel ball roster.
Wow.
You know, Omega Payton played on my travel ball team. So when Calvary was going to play City of Life, I'm like, this is a done deal. Like, I know these kids. I know what they bring to the table. You know, but at the end of the day, guess what you can never take from Calvary? They went to 2 straight Final Fours. They won 5 district championships, 3 regional finals. Like, you can't take that away. You know, for Lopez, like, you can't take away, like, what Lopez, I think, out of all of us, has the hardest road because in the Final Four they play a good Choctaw team, and if they beat them their award is we're going to play Fort Myers. Destiny Henderson, who is going to South Carolina, and then they arguably have the best 2021, which is 9th grade post player in the state of Florida. And they call her Shaq, and she can shoot the 15-footer.
Should be at UConn.
So, yeah, like, she
should be at
she's
UConn.
That good. Like, she's that good.
And she'll post me up.
So, you know, like, at the end of the day, but guess what you can never take away? Like, you can't be Mainland girls and be like, oh, y'all lost. But, yes, we lost in the Final Four.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, if we lose, like, at the end of the day, you can't take the fact that
Final Four
you
is
made
Final
it
Four.
to the Final Four at the end of the day.
One last question before we get locked in. For me, I don't know about
Sure.
you.
No, that's good. That's good.
Coaching AAU obviously has its benefits. As you mentioned, you just know so many players. Is coaching AAU, like, what's the difference? Is there a huge difference between your coaching method in AAU than it is high school?
Yes. 100 times different. Because, and I hate to say this, like how I coach AAU, I would get fired at Creek because of how tough I am, the things that I say.
Oh.
And this is different. I can get away with a lot of things in AAU because the parent, when they say, hey, I want to come see the director of SMAC Florida. Oh, okay, here I am. So, you know, what I'm going to do, fire myself.
That's a great point.
At the end of the day.
You have nobody to fire you.
Exactly. At Creek, I want to go see the AD about Coach Hamm. Okay, Coach, we got to get you out of here. And, you know, that's different. And a lot of my kids, Jayla, you know, who plays from Yoka, they'll tell you, they're like, man, Hamm is 100 times tougher with us during travel ball than he is high school. Like, I'm tough high school, but I'm like 0 to 100.
So you can't be mic'd up during your practices at AAU.
Not at AAU. And, like, at the end of the day, but it's production. Like, we get it. Like, I get it done. My organization gets it done with the guys that I work with. So, you know, we pride ourselves because we've, you know, all of our kids go to school. So we really, you know, hit our kids hard. You know, every organization has its issues. You know, we're not the best organization. It's, you know, you have a lot of organizations that's a lot well-ran than we are, but we pride ourselves on, you know, getting it done, getting the kids in college. So, yeah,
I think that's
a lot
the best
different.
end goal, to be honest, is just
Yeah.
further your education. I think is the most important.
Exactly.
Trophies are nice, but education will stay with you forever.
Do you know, like Jayla Adams, I'm going to say this real quick. Jayla Adams said to me over the course of just the last 2 weeks, how many people told this kid, I never respected you until now. You know, I had a coach tell me, like, hey, coach, I talked a lot of stuff about you, but they got better. And I'm thinking in my head, like, so what you figure, kids come to Creek and don't get better? Because, like, they get better. I took a lot of, like, when Jayla committed to FAU, I took a lot of slack that she went to FAU. But the thing is, it's about the fit. See, a lot of kids want to go to Florida and go to Florida State and go to UConn and go to all these different places. But she went somewhere that fit her.
Yeah.
She had a Temple offer. She had all these different offers. You know, she could have got bigger stuff, but she didn't do. She wanted to be herself. So it was basically like, this is who I am. If you're going to recruit me, take me for what I am.
And that's when you succeed, is when you're in a system that is fit for you.
Yeah. And the system that she's going to that, like her future head coach. When he texts me about her, he runs that D'Antoni system. That's where I got it from her head coach, from her future college coach. He said, you know who I want her to be? I said, who? He said, I want her to be my Steve Nash. Woo. So, like, at the end of the day, she's going to a perfect system where she may not play right away. She'll have an opportunity to, but she's going into a perfect system because guess what? We're running it right now. And if you go look at her numbers, if you look at her numbers
don't lie.
Numbers don't lie. You know,
that's awesome.
and she's being very productive. So, you know, it's tough. Like for me, like I know, and I said this the last time, like, I know when I took the job at Creek, I pissed a lot of people off. You know, like I pissed a lot of coaches off because I talked a lot of crap. Because you got to think, when I took the job at Creek, people don't know, I was 23 years old. So when I took the job, I talked a lot of crap. You know, I started getting the better kids. You know, but so for me, it's a lot of pressure because it's like you got the best talent. You know, that's what people say. Oh, Coach Hamm's not a good coach. He just got all the best talent.
Yeah.
But guess what, though? Name me a team that win championships don't have the best talent or the best team.
You won't hear me say anything.
Yeah.
Because there's no such thing.
Yeah, Steve Kerr.
That's a part of it.
He's a really good coach. They got the best team, but it's a perfect fit. Kerr and the Warriors. So, yeah, no, I agree with that.
John
That's
Gruden
that.
just made all that money from the Raiders.
I don't know about John Gruden.
No, I'm just saying. He took a Tampa Bay team,
Yeah.
won a championship,
Mm-hmm.
a couple years later got fired. Now he's probably the highest paid NFL coach.
He's overpaid, I think.
I'm a Bucks fan. I think that was partly Dungy's team that he took that first year. He had a lot to do with it, obviously, because they played the Raiders. But I think he's been away from it too much.
Yeah, me too.
I don't think he has.
There's no huddles, right?
I don't think he lost the touch. I don't think he has the passion that he did when he was before. Like, I don't know if he's because the work ethic he had, and that's the reason why he walked away when he got fired per se, is because the time that he put in to the coaching was stressful to him. I don't know if he has that same mentality to coaching.
How much money they pay him?
Yeah, you don't have the mentality for anything. No.
But what I'm saying, I think the money is what brought him there.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the passion that brought him there. That's my point.
Good point.
When he was younger and he was that youngest head coach for Oakland, did that for Tampa. I think he still has a passion for the game. Obviously, he loves the game. He's I love hearing him commentate.
Yeah.
I just don't know if he's going to coach the same level as he was before.
You know how you lose passion?
There you go, holding the mic stand.
$60 million. That's how you lose passion.
Yes.
But wow,
I love
I
it.
can be passionate for $60 million.
Me too.
I can be passionate for like $5,000.
Me too.
yeah.
I'm passionate about high school for this little bit of supplement that I have. If you up my supplement, hey, give me $10,000.
Hey, AD to Creek. Come on now, give Coach Hamm a little something. Final four
bonus.
A little bonus. Come on, guys. 7 years, scholarships, and championships.
If you're watching,
Yes.
all we
You know you're watching. They're locked in.
All about the ships.
But,
Okay, cuz are you ready to get locked in?
Yeah, I
Coach
just wanted
Hamm?
to make sure
Okay.
Coach Hamm, Spruce Creek girls basketball head coach.
Yes.
So in case, where do we watch the game and how? One last time.
FHSA.org. Click on the girls basketball link. Scroll all the way down, and it'll have the link for you to stream the games. I think it costs about $10 to stream the games. It costs $13 to get in the game, so you can watch it in the comfort of your own home.
That's
Okay.
awesome. That's
And
awesome.
by the way, you know what almost costs around like $13? It's like $15, $16. Locked in shirts.
Nice.
Shop.spreadshirt.com/locked-in/ buy a t-shirt. Oh yeah, 2 N's in the locked in.
And one last commercial before we get locked in.
Okay.
YouTube. We are going to be live streaming or experimenting our live streams on YouTube. So people
I love to
who-
experiment.
Turn this off. No, but, no. But for the people who don't have Facebook, like I just created one. It'll be a neutral location that everybody can go to. YouTube, watch Ham live. With the fresh Stetson. Oh, that's not even a Stetson shirt, is it?
Oh yeah, this is JU.
Woo!
Oh, okay, with the fresh shirt, the fresh tee.
My Stetson fan might be mad at me, but I gotta give Coach Yo.
I like it. So subscribe to the YouTube page, Locked In. Also like us on Facebook, like the Facebook page, and the Locked In community, which is the group where you can debate that Chris Paul is underachieved or whether he did, which he did. And there we go. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts.
Twitter,
You can find us.
Instagram, Dunkin' Donuts, $5 gift cards for me, iHeartRadio, Spotify app. Hit your phone, listen to us
All right.
all the time.
Let's get locked in. So I think this is the first time I'm going to say all three of us may have the same locked in. Never been done because I know what mine is.
Mine's different.
None different.
Okay, never mind. I thought it was.
Was that your locked in? I know already.
My past locked in was that you'd go to the Final Four.
Mm-hmm.
My locked in is that you win the state championship.
Woo!
I was right last
Because
time.
you was right last time.
I'm telling you. I'm not just saying it because you're here. I'm not just saying it because we like you.
That's awesome.
I'm saying it because I mean it. Because you speak with the knowledge you have for the game isn't just about coaching and doing this. You actually think about the system you have and why it works, how it works, and you think about why your players excel in the way they do, and that will win you a state championship.
Okay. You want me to roll next?
Yeah.
My locked in is that all the success, we talked about Joe Giddens a lot on this episode, all the success that Coach Giddens is having this year is nothing yet until the future. Like, I see nothing. He's like this.
So you see Atlantic going second, you think?
Now, all I'm saying is, hey, maybe Mainland next year wins the whole state championship. Maybe 2-3 years he's the coach of University of Alabama. All I'm saying is that Joe Giddens is on the rise as a
Agreed.
coach.
Completely agree.
They got to coach Joe Giddens.
My locked in is that Mainland will win Friday night.
Okay.
I like that.
Okay.
I like that. You could have easily said something about your program, but you're just unselfish.
That's my locked in.
Okay.
I like it. They're actually going to go to the Final Four, go to the championship games, which Chris Paul has never been a part of.
Conference. It's like a conference final game.
Yeah, which Chris Paul actually hasn't been to. So, all right, everybody. So
I got a headache, guys.
Make sure, like always, you guys stay
Locked in.